Okay, so super evening to all of you. Am I audible to you all? Let me clear this thing first, then we will start this session. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So, first of all, I would like to thank each one of you for joining this session, and I feel very proud to say that Unacademy allow me to organize such event to enlighten the young mind of the country and motivate them at all level. I would also like to offer my gratitude to all the people who made this event functional in such a hard time. Now, I am profoundly delighted to take in the opportunity to introduce our guest for the evening, and he is none other than Mr. Pankaj Dubey. He is co-founder and he is co-founder of Power Global PCB. He is CEO and MD of Power Global Energy Services. He is TEDx speaker and well established in the field of automobile industry, having contributed significantly to Yamaha, Hero Moto Corporation and Polaris India. He received Intellectual Award 2020 at 21st of National Management Summit. He is also a recipient to Top 50 Indian Icon 2016. He is one of the Black Book Indian Most Powerful Men in Luxury Top 100 in 2015 and 2016. He devotes lots of time to motivate the youth of the country in management and engineering students. He believes that India can progress and achieve its economic growth only through to motivate the youth of the country. So without any delay, I request the Honorable Sir to address the gathering and cast the light of his knowledge upon us. Sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Lamia. I'm really happy to talk to the youth again, and I'm told that the Unacademy is doing some very nice job in creating and aspiring engineers to be trained to get well entrenched into the industry, and you're making the ground ready and coaching them to be preparing themselves for the corporate world. So I'm happy and honored for the this session that you invited me as a guest, and I would be very happy to share my views, my story, my success, which I'm sure would inspire many in the audience today. So I have a small presentation, and I'll just go through that initially, and then thereafter we can open up for question and answers. If you have any, please, while the presentation is going on, you can frame your questions and ask at the end of it. Lamia, you'll have to enable the screen share option for me. It's not working because it says that the host disabled participant sharing screen.
Okay. I'm going to share the screen, sir.
No, you are sharing your screen, but you have to allow me to share.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait for a second. Okay. Sir, now you are host. You can share the screen of yours, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, share screen. Oh, fine. So can you see the screen now? Lamia, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So number one, I would like all of the participants here to believe in yourself and dream big. Don't dream small. And also, since most of you are aspirant or already an engineering students, I would like you to invest in future technologies. Invest doesn't mean just a financial investment, but investing time. Your precious time is very, very important. And if you invest your time in future technologies, it will be very helpful to you as well as for the society, country, and the global community as well. I know most of you would be right now students and dreaming about the future, that what you will do. Many of you will not be clear on what path you will take, what success you will want to have, which field you want to specialize in. So all those things would be there, but I'm right now giving you the overall perspective, and then we'll go into the nitty-gritties later on. Number one is to be shaping your future and to dream big, you have to become fearless. Like whatever challenges that come in, whether it is current time of COVID, you have to be fearless. We don't have to be dumb and foolish, but we have to be fearless. Like we have to understand the risk involved, but at the same time, when the challenge comes, we have to accept the challenge. Number two is that having yourself positive is very important, because success comes at a place where there is optimism and positivity. So if you have to be successful, and if you want to achieve your dream, and you want to have investment into the future technologies, the basics factor is that you have to be positive. So keep yourself positive, and the life goes on. Sometimes you are very positive, sometimes you are not so positive. How do you pick yourself from when you are not so positive towards positivity is the skill that you must learn, and you must invest your time to acquire that. Also, there is a 3 component for anything. One is the past, the second is the present, and the third is the future. When I'm saying dreaming big, invest in future, it's all about future I'm talking about. Then in the past, you must have done something which cannot be changed. Even God cannot change what has happened in the past. The statement that I gave 1 second before cannot be changed even by God. So God is also powerless in the past. But there are some learnings in the past that you must have learned, and you have to acquire that, so that in next time when you face the similar challenges, you are successful. So it's very important to learn from the past, but it is equally important to not get stuck in the past, because what happens is that many times you will try and you will fail. Now, what is your learning? Your learning should not be that if I try, I will fail. Your learning should be that I tried many times and I failed, but I will succeed. Now I have to try more things to be successful. That is where a combination of being fearless, keeping yourself positive, and learning from the past is there, that you learn from the past. And the next point, which is to innovate, to have innovation, is also linked. Like when you are doing something, learning from the past, and you have attempted many ways and not successful, try another way. And that is what is called innovation. Try something new, try something different, try something which nobody has tried, or try something which everybody has failed and people think cannot be done, and you go and say, I will do it. So that is innovation, that is positivity. And the last point here is accepting change. Life will change. So don't blame anybody that, God is not supporting me, there is no God, there is like my parents do not support me, or my teachers are not good. All that things are just finding a reason which is external. What is very important is that life will change, but you have to accept the change. And even after accepting the change, you have to adhere to all that what I said. Be fearless, keep positive, learn from the past, and innovate. At times, it is very tough to accept a change. For example, this may be like some people in your family would have left this world during the COVID times. Maybe not in your immediate family, maybe some friends, parents, some relatives, or some extended family, and some from your own family. But you have to accept that this has happened. Now what? Now you have to accept the change that has happened, and now you have to figure out what I need to do now in order to build and shape the future. So no matter how tough it has been, still you can come out and you can make a new beginning and make something which is bright and which successful in the future space. So this is something which is very critical and very important for the success, which is to accept the change. What has happened yesterday, good, bad, whatever, you have to accept it and then make a plan what should you do based on what has happened in the past. Now, I firmly believe about my thoughts, your thoughts. It's very important that you must know this, that the future of life depends not outside us. It is all within you. Everything that happens to you or surrounding you, somewhere down the line, your thoughts are also a reason to shape. So whatever you think, that becomes one day a reality. And there is a famous saying, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your action. Your action becomes so and so forth to your destiny. So what it ultimately means is that your thoughts decides your destiny. So whatever is going to happen to you, it's not because of somebody else's thoughts, it's because of your thought. Suppose that you say, I'm doing engineering because my father said so I'm doing it. So it's not my thought. But your father gave the thought, you accepted the thought, therefore now it is your thought. Now you have to think on that this is a thought that I accepted. Now it is my thought and now I have to make it successful. So what is very important and critical is that you can change your thoughts. You cannot change anybody else's thoughts. What I am thinking, I can change my thought. But to change somebody else's thought is very different. This is very true of the politics. This is very true of your own relationship with friends. Like you want to teach the other person what is your thought, and you want the other person also to believe in your thought, and the other person says, no, my thought is different. So converting or transferring your thought to other person is not a very easy task. But what is easy is that I can change my own thought. And thoughts, words, and action, this is what I have made a flow. Thoughts, words, action. This is how it happens. So if your thoughts are positive, your words are positive, then you would be happy, like this actress. And if your thoughts are negative, and your words are negative, and your actions are negative, you would be sad, just like this actress. So both actors can smile and cry at the same time. Like when you are happy, it can be reversed. The sad girl will become happy and the happy girl will become sad. But what is common factor in this is it all happens because of the thought that you have. If you think that what's happening is fine, then you will be happy. If you think that what's happening is not fine and everybody is conspiring against us, then you would be unhappy and sad. So sadness and happiness does not depend on external factors. It depends upon my own thoughts. So change your thought and train your thoughts to become better, positive, and action-oriented. So what I believe is that dreams become real because dreams are also thoughts. There is a thought, I want to do something in the future. So that dreams become real and you become what you think. So whatever you're thinking, you become that. Like whatever you're thinking, whatever you are saying, you actually go and do that only. So what is very important is to watch your words, what you're saying, because it is coming from your own thought. And whether the thoughts or words that you're saying are positive or the words that you're saying are negative, the moment the words are negative, the results will also be the same. So your thought is critical. Now, dreams become real, and in my experience, whenever I made a dream, some dreams got achieved, some dreams did not got achieved. But which dreams got achieved? The dreams that I was very passionate about, that I want to do, and also a learning from my life that I put a date to that dream, that I will achieve this dream by this date. That dream became a reality, and a dream which I said that, one day I will do this without any date, that is still a dream for me. So therefore, if you are very serious about achieving any dream, put a date to that. So that is what is from my own experience and my learning. When I was a student, my dream was to become a sales and marketing head. When I became sales and marketing head, and I said that I want to become sales and marketing head in 8 to 10 years time. And I became a sales head and a marketing head in 7 years. And then after that, I said, oh, my dream got achieved. What should I do? So after 2-3 years of being the sales and marketing head, I dreamt that I should become a CEO. And then this time I put not the number of years, but I put a date. By this date, 31st December 2020, I should become a CEO. And I became that. In October, I got an offer, and 1st January, I became the CEO. So the dream in 2011, and this is how I feel that, if you have a dream and you put a date, it becomes a reality. Even after that, whatever dreams that I said, I will share more dreams with you. I have shared a dream which is very big, and all of you will also accept that, yeah, it is very big. And the dream is that on 17th of October 2020, I launched my consulting company called DSPEN. And after a lot of thinking, I launched it on that day because it was an International Poverty Eradication Day. I launched that on 17th October 2020, and I said that by 17th October 2040, poverty will be eradicated from India. So poverty will not exist in India, and we will have to make some plans and do actions and all of that. My thought, my words. So my thought got converted to words, and the words is getting converted to action. And hopefully, many of you might contribute to that success. By you succeeding in your own life, by you realizing your own dream, you will contribute to my success on my dream of achieving eradication of poverty by 2040. Because if every individual becomes successful, there'll be no poverty in the country. So there are many, many things that I am initiating and I'm doing, but I'm just sharing with you the power of dreaming and how the dreams get achieved. Before you go into the next step, you have to understand the values, the Indian values, and also understand the people of the country, the market, the customers. Unless and until you understand the customer very well, you will never be successful. Whether you are an engineer and you're going to make a product or you're going to give the service, if you don't understand your customer, you will never be able to make a breakthrough. So what is important is to understand the values and the customers and the market. And since all of us are in India and we're born in India, we must understand Indian values. If I go to China, I will have to understand the China values. If I go to Japan, I have to understand Japan values. If I go to US, I have to understand US values and what is so different, what are the belief system. And once I understand that, my marketing strategy, my sales strategy, my business strategy, my product strategy, everything would fall in line. So today I'm talking to you about the Indian values. Number one value that we have is compassion. Each one of us are very concerned about the other person, and the slightest of pain that we see in another person, we all get concerned and we want to really help the other person. It's a great quality, and most of the Indian people have that. Number two, and very basic, is being healthy. Health is wealth. If you are not healthy, you will not be wealthy. If you are not healthy, you will not be prosperous. If you are not healthy, you cannot eradicate poverty, because you are yourself not healthy. Then how can you remove poverty or even do any action? Because you require a lot of support yourself. And for that, yoga is being taught in India. It's very good that you do mild yoga, pranayam, exercises, yogic exercises, and you can learn all of that. There are thousands and sites and YouTube videos from where you can learn. You can just go and search, and you are experts in searching on web. So you can just go and search and start doing that. But you must understand that if you have to touch this point, you can make a very success for your own business or the company that you work for. Just see example of Patanjali. Just because of yoga, they have, 10,000 crore plus business today because they started preaching yoga and then started selling their own product also. So I'm not saying that you follow that mechanism and you follow them, but I'm just saying that the power of one, how can you multiply? Third Indian value is ecological balance. Indian people, they worship nature. We are grateful to sun, we are grateful to moon, we are grateful to Jupiter, Saturn, all the planets. And we worship them. Like sun, you may see that a lot of people offer water to sun, अर्घ देना जिसको बोलते हैं. And moon की पूजा होती है पूरे, मतलब बहुत सारे festivals हैं जिसमें moon is being worshipped. And likewise, there's Jupiter, and every day of the week is associated with some planet. Like Jupiter is for Thursday, Venus is for Friday, Saturn is for Saturday, Sunday is for sun, Monday is for moon, Tuesday is for Mars. So all the planets have an association, and it has been taught to us that, okay, do this on Tuesday. How, if you don't understand this, it would become very, very difficult for you to market your products. Fourth point, feed animals. Feeding bird, cow, dog is so important in our culture. The Indian people, they would feed cows, they will go to dogs, they will feed birds. Any puja, any religious ceremony is not complete unless they will do all three of them. You feed them, all three of them. At the same time, it's not just about feeding animals. There are like even feeding to snakes. There is a festival in India called Nag Panchami. On that day, you are supposed to feed snake. Milk is being offered to them. Like that, there are like days when you have to offer food to ants and all of that. So why it is so? Because it's been taught the compassion. Your balance will come when you look after your planets. Balance will come when you look after the animals, because they are very important for the overall global balancing of human being, animal, plants, etc. Next point is watering plants like banana, people tree, tulsi tree. So many trees. Every tree has important. There are so many gods. Every god has association of a plant. And, it's also like people tree, you worship on Saturday, banana, you worship on Thursday. Like that, there are association of plants. And what do? You go and water the plant. Now, you must have all learned during the COVID time how important is plant to us. Because plant exhales oxygen and consumes carbon dioxide. And what does human being do? Opposite. So it's like if you have a plant near you, it's like your lungs are outside. One lung is inside you, one lung is outside. So your lung is doing conversion of oxygen to carbon dioxide, and what is exhaled is taken by the plant. Suppose the plant is not there, what will happen? There will be a nature that will become a big problem. And you might also know that the watering plants and the plant, if it grows, what happens? There is a direct correlation of rain and forest area. So if you do deforestation, rain will be less. If you do more forestation, rain will be more. The best example for this to understand is Middle East, Dubai. You go there. Few years back, it was a Registan. It was a desert. Now you see a lot of greenery. And if you have your friends there, you will come to know that now in the Middle East and Dubai, there is rain also happening, which they have not seen for decades. So this is the power to understand that what we need to do for the nature, for the plants around. And this has been taught to us right from nobody has given us a coaching that we never heard in the classrooms, but it has been taught to us by my forefathers, parents, friends, seniors. Last but not the least is a spiritual, religious, and astrology. It's a very important role to play in India if you want to understand. Why? Because suppose that you're in the food industry and you have to prepare food and your products are like uh, providing lunch, dinner, or breakfast menu. Now, what will you cook? Suppose that you are working in a company which is supplying food to airlines. Now, what product you would supply to them, what machines you will use to them, and what is the kind of a mix that you will provide to them. Now, the change happens like on every Tuesday, the population of country will change from non-veg to vegetarian on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, on a Saturday, especially on a Tuesday. A lot of people become a vegetarian. Now the product mix will change. When you're supplying your products to an airline, if you do a same mix throughout the week, there'll be a lot of wastage on a Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays because you're providing excess of. So you have to learn all of that. Even the American companies like McDonald's and Pizza Hut, they've learned that, if you have to survive in India, even the Kentucky Fried Chicken offers vegetarian food in India. Why? Because otherwise they have to shut down the shop on Tuesday because the business will be very low. So you have to learn. So you have to learn the market, you have to learn the values, you have to learn the customers, and then make your product. So what is very critical and important is to respect your values, market, understand the customer, and then it's important that you be healthy. Very important how to shape the future. Very basic, 3 things. You should have a willpower, you should believe in yourself, and you should have a positive attitude. How can you make willpower? Do you know any mechanism by which you can increase your willpower? No. This is something which I learned, how to increase the willpower. Like my will is so strong that I started dreaming and achieving those dreams. And now I have made such a big dream that many people laugh at me. And I think and I believe I'm very happy about it. If people don't laugh at your dream, then your dream is not big enough. So therefore, then you should not say that I'm dreaming big. You should say I'm dreaming, not dreaming big. So how to make the willpower I learned? By fasting. I don't eat the normal food on every, like almost 15 days in a month. So I started with one day, like Thursday, then I started Saturday. Now I keep Ekadashi also. I keep fast on Tuesdays also. So I'm literally 15 days in a month I'm fasting. It's not that I'm starving, I'm fasting. And there's a difference between that. The fasting is that there are certain foods that are prohibited. Like on Thursday, I don't eat salt. On a Tuesday, I would not eat any rice or roti and wheat and all these products. Ekadashi, I will have only fruits and I can have salt and sugar, but I can't eat. So like that. So how it helps to increase the willpower? It helps to increase the willpower because I love the food. It's lying in front of me and I don't eat it. So what happens? It makes me feel stronger. It makes me feel that, I love something, it is lying in front of me and I'm not having it. Now that increases control on myself and that increases the willpower. I have decided, I committed that I will not eat it and I did not. As basic as that. You can devise your own strategies, but I'm just telling you how I improved my willpower. And my willpower is very strong because of keeping fast. And a lot of people advise me you should not keep so many fast and all that. But I say, no, it's helping me out. I'm fit, healthy. You take my test, I'm fit and healthy. I don't have any problems. So why should I? I am following my own philosophies and my own principles. And that is how the willpower is being built. And you can also make that accordingly. But without willpower, without having a control on your senses, you won't be able to achieve the big dreams. You may achieve small dreams, but big dreams you will not be able to achieve unless and until you have a very strong willpower. And also believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you will not make big commitments. So believing is very important. And attitude, yes, is very important. Now, yes and no are 2 simple words. But, I was the business head for Yamaha. I changed the entire company with one slogan. And that slogan was, yes, Yamaha. And for that, I had a big dream to sing in Bollywood. So far, I have not achieved that. Now I put a date also. So earlier I didn't put a date. Now I have a date also. 2024, I should be singing in a Bollywood movie. But then when I made this Yes Yamaha song, I invited Sunidhi Chauhan and I sang with her a Yes Yamaha song. So to some extent, and then later on, I did the same with the Dr. Palash Sen, the Euphoria group. I made an Indian motorcycle song and I sang that. And in fact, I have sung in a movie also, but it was a Bhojpuri movie. I sang in that movie a song. All that was a dream, and it became a reality. And I was talking to you about Yes Yamaha. I created this word Yes Yamaha, and it changed the entire company. The company had an issue where there were leaders in the market in motorcycle with RX100, RD350, big names, very successful. And then they were having a market share of 45% to 50%, and came down to 1.2% when I joined. And by changing the entire strategy, product strategy, launching new products like R15, LZ, Phaser, me and my team, the entire Japanese management and the team which worked with me, under me, all of us worked together. But simple change, Yes Yamaha, did the big difference to the brand, and the company became very successful. Now, coming to innovation, learning from the past is so important, But at the same time, I already spent some time with you to make you understand that sometimes you should not get stuck in the past because of the failures, because there are failures and success both in the past. But if you just get stuck to failures and start thinking, oh, I'm not good, I can't do this, then your thoughts are negative and you will be like a sad Alia Bhatt. Huh? But if you want to become a happy Alia Bhatt or another actress, happiness you want to have, you should learn how you can be successful from the past. So innovation is also many ways you can do innovation. Innovation is one way is go to the past, see the future, see what was successful, what is contemporary, make certain changes and make a success today. Another way is that you learn that you are living in India. There are certain technologies not available in India. There are certain technologies available and are very successful in one part of the world. And you think that this product can be successful in India in future. You invest into that and you become very successful. Example for this is like telecom companies like Airtel. They invested at the right time in the telecom and now they are the leaders here. So if you see the changes happening, so another company came in, they saw, oh, Airtel has this 3G, 4G, let me bring some new technology. And then they go and find in some part of the world, bring another technology, and now they are also successful. So this is where innovation is. So anything new that you do at a place where it is non-existent is innovation for that place. So you can innovate. I will give you an example of our own innovation. Like you must have all be aware that who invented the aircrafts. You all must be knowing Wright brothers. But much before that, India had Viman. Pushpak Viman is an example which is given in Ramayana, where Ravana took Sita ji from India to Sri Lanka in that Pushpak Viman. So that was a Viman, and there's a description of a Viman. There's a Viman Shastra book which has a description of the Viman where there are multiple layers of decks, like there were 3 seaters, like I would say, like a first deck, second deck, and the top deck, 3 decks where people are sitting. So 3 sitting arrangements you can see in the aircraft, which was designed in the ancient times. Now, these were there, and I have always been intrigued that since at that time this was there, then what was the fuel it was used? Because petrol and diesel and the current, the fuel that are used in aircraft are all recent ones. It was not even discovered thousands of years back when this Viman was running. So we have to figure out what energy sources was there used, and can we find that out? And if we find that out, India would be not just eradicating poverty, India will become Sone ki Chidiya. If we can just find an answer to this, that what energy sources are used in this aircraft, and if I can use that energy to power the current vehicles, current houses, and all the equipment that we are running through that, and it is available in India, you imagine the prosperity that India will have. India's balance of trade is not good because of only import of oil, the fuel that we import. If we don't import that, India would become self-sufficient and very powerful, prosperous and all. So maybe if we can find this reason, poverty eradication can be easily done. So when I told you that the dream is very big, poverty eradication is a big project, but I believe that this one single source of finding the alternate energy which is available in India, and if we can find that out, it will eradicate poverty overnight. In few years, everybody will become prosperous. Go to Middle East and see, can you find anybody poor over there? Any locals poor? No, no way. All of them are very prosperous because they've found one resource. So similarly, if you can find one resource in India, it will transform the country. And maybe you are all engineers. Many of you, I will encourage and request that please find this out. This is going to achieve my dream, and this is going to change the fortunes of every individual in India. New technologies are coming. You know, the technology which was like a mobile phone, a simple mobile phone, is now expected that the new phone will be, it is like you can wear it on your wrist. Already you have a Apple Watch, Samsung Watch. So many watches are coming which are working as a phone also, and also as and a lot of other functions. So the future of phones may be like something like this: artificial intelligence, fully autonomous vehicles. All these are terms that you must have heard. You know, solar panel being used on a vehicle, the pollution from a polluting vehicle moving to electric vehicle, which is where India is moving now. Not just India, globally people are moving, but India's population, the pollution is so high that India does require very quickly to switch to electric vehicle. And my reading of the future is in the next 3 to 5 years' time, many of you, maybe 25%, 50%, 75%, would be buying an electric vehicle in the next 3 to 5 years' time only. So this is the kind of a change that is happening. You must understand, and then you should decide which place you want to work, where you want to work, which field you want to work. Also, since most of you are the engineering aspirants or engineering students, you must know that gone are the days when you can specialize in only one, because you will not find a single product just being mechanical. Because now the new vehicles are not just mechanical, it's electrical, it's electronics, it's telecom, everything is inbuilt. And that is how fully autonomous vehicles will be there. So the vehicles are changing, the market is changing, mobile phone, telecom, in fact, all the industry is changing, and no more you can just specialize in one field. If you know only electricals, or if you know only mechanical, or if you know only electronics, you will not be very successful. You have to have a knowledge of all, and how the convergence of all of this is happening right now, and you must learn that. And you must aspire to get into the field, colleges, where you can learn this, that there convergence taking place. Now, just to give you a brief about the current company that I co-founded. It's an American company, and my founder, Porter Harris, and I have planned certain activities in the energy field. And through Power Global, we plan to end the energy poverty in India and also then spread this across the world. The future of the electric vehicle adoption, it does depend a lot on the light vehicles, light mobility electrification. So we are going to focus on the basic three-wheelers and two-wheelers to get electrified first. And we create lithium and battery manufacturing in India and making battery swapping infrastructure so that electric vehicle industry becomes successful. So far, we have understood the gap of why electric vehicle industry has not taken off, and what needs to be done by a company or an industry is what we understood, and we are going to go ahead into that and electrify the Indian market. So this is gives you just a glimpse of the products that we are planning to have, the lithium-ion technology with superior two-wheeler, three-wheeler applications. a compact, very high density, long life cycle, lightweight products where the battery can be easily swapped. The swapping station, like an ATM machine, you're driving your vehicle, you take your battery out, go to the swapping station like an ATM, take out the second battery, and then you're going. So, like you have a petrol tank, instead of a petrol tank, you have a battery, and that battery you fill the petrol in your vehicle, but battery which is very light, and fix it in a place where you will get another alternate battery immediately, and your current battery, which is like not fully charged, maybe 10% or 20% charged, you can just deposit that, pick a fresh battery which is 80%, 90% or 100% charged, take it out, and then you are mobile again. And so this is the very innovative things that we are planning to do in India, and it's going to help the lower cost for OEMs. The OEMs will become more successful because of our strategy that we are planning to have. And also, it will be a win-win for customers also, because right now they're not buying electric vehicle because of the range issue, because of the cost issue. And we have a strategy where we'll take care of the cost issue as well as the range issue. And therefore, we are very confident that we'll expedite the launch and shifting to electrification in the country. At the end is just this my slide where I just make a small change. Yeah, so this is my credential. You can go and check it out on the website, my website, the LinkedIn profile, Twitter and Insta profile, and you can reach out to me on these platforms. And if you have any queries, any answers to be sought subsequently, you're more than welcome. So some students are like, very different. Every student is different. So some, like have you ever seen, popcorns? When you put a popcorn and it starts popping up, the few pops up very quickly and few pops up later and few doesn't pop at all. So I don't know which category you belong to. You would be asking questions now, or you will not be asking questions, or you will be asking questions on Twitter, LinkedIn, or reach out to me separately, or you don't reach out at all. So it all entirely depends upon you. Like a popcorn, you can, if you decide to question right now, you're more than welcome. If you don't, you can reach out to me on these numbers. So this is all about my presentation, and now I'll go back to the question and answer round. Lamia, you can shoot the questions.
Yes, sir. First of all, sir, thank you very much, sir, for your powerful words, sir. You are the inspiration for everyone, and I am following you from last 3 to 4 years. And every time when I listen you, when I check the post which you are doing on the LinkedIn platform, I always inspired by you. So thank you very much, sir, for coming here. And anyone, if you have some queries, you can ask in the comment section. If you don't have, you can follow the sir on the LinkedIn, Twitter, and other platforms. Okay. So if you have any query regarding the session or regarding the like private sector, because you always prepare for the public sector or government sector. So if you have any query, you can type in the comment section. Okay, so I think they don't have any question from the sir? Okay. And your words, sir, are very powerful. Like customer needs, that is the requirement of the current scenario. And control your senses. It is also written in the Gita. Whenever I get time, I always read these type of spiritual books, because it's just like a management book. ये आपको like सिखाती भी है कि लाइफ को किस तरीके से आपको रन करना चाहिए. And believe in yourself. It is also a very powerful word for me. So I am at this particular time, I am motivated and emotional simultaneously. First question.
I'm very happy, Lamia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. First question for you, sir. What is the best skill to get into the private sector? If anyone want to go for the private sector, what is the one key skill that anyone need to develop?
See, this is a very broad question. Private sector itself is very broad. And then you want to get into, and you want to know one skill, then it will be more of a behavioral skill, your attitude. You should be very positive. Yes. You should have an attitude that I don't know anything, but I will learn and do something. If you have this attitude, private sector is always welcoming such candidates. You know, there was in my childhood, I had seen a movie, I don't exactly remember. I think it was the movie called Diwar. And the Amitabh Bachchan was the hero there, and he went to buy a huge building. And he said he didn't have any money, but he wants to buy this building. So and then he became very successful later on. So that is a story, but I would like that you should develop this skill. You don't have anything, you don't have a job, but you have that skill which is required by the private sector. And what is that? You should be knowing something which the person who's interviewing you does not know. Yes. You should be a specialist in one field. At least in one area, it should be such that when you go, the other person should feel, oh, he will add. You know, why will anybody hire? So when I hire, you know, no one is perfect. So I can motivate you, I can do a lot of things, I can see, but there may be certain areas that I require a help. And if that help is available in you, you have that skill, I will hire you. Yes. So for example, like you may have a skill of ripping apart a vehicle and assembling it back. Now, and then finding out the fault in any vehicle. So it's been, without doing engineering, you have been doing it. So now that is an inbuilt skill. Now build upon that. And if the interviewer comes to know that you have not even studied engineering, or you have just studying engineering, but you have made a vehicle and you know how to unmount an engine or rectify the vehicle, then that passion will be seen in you. So what you have to have, positive attitude, and develop some passion in a special field, which you really enjoy doing. Yes. The moment you do that, you will have that skill where somebody will definitely hire you. And maybe if your dream is big enough, you will hire many people. You develop that skill that you are hired by many people.
Yes, sir. But sir, the situation which we are facing from the last 15 to 16 months, it is very difficult to be a motivated person and positive person every time. So how to be positive every time when we don't have job, we don't have any just such type of skill from which we can get job in the PSUs and private sector. So how to maintain the positivity in our mind every time? Like we are distracted at this particular time. We are distracted, we are demotivated, we are such a negative person. So how to convert our negativity and demotivation into the motivation and positivity?
Only mad persons are positive all the time.
Yes.
You know? So you cannot be positive all the time. You would have a up and the down. Life is like this only. You go up, you come down. You go up, you come down. But what happens when you come down? Very important. You know, all the successful people, whether it is me or anybody, if you talk, they will tell you about their failures. Many of them will not like to talk about the failures, but many will tell you about the failures. What do you mean by failures? Failures is that I failed. When I failed, what I was thinking, I'm a bad person, I'm not capable, or I did some mistake, which I must rectify. I was supposed to do certain thing, I did not do. Or I was not supposed to do something, I did, because of which I failed.
Yes.
So because of which I failed, now I am sad. Now, how will I become happy? I will become happy so that I don't do the same mistake again. So I don't fail again. That is very important. So failure is an integral part of the success. When you fail, there is no one in the world who has never failed and always been successful.
Yes.
Even if you talk to anybody, there's an example of Abraham Lincoln, which is very easily available if you Google it. How many times he failed? He failed in almost everything in his life, except for the president of US election. He succeeded there. So you can fail multiple times, but what are you thinking at the time of failure is important. Are you blaming other person? Oh, this happened because this politician who is the minister, he did not do his job, or you are thinking about your own thoughts. What I did, what I was supposed to do and I did not do. So if you are thinking about yourself, my thoughts, words and action to a response, like COVID. COVID was very bad. It was suffocating. It was like you are confined to your home. You are not able to move out. But what are the advantages of COVID? Is there any advantage?
Yes, sir. There are like
today,
just because of the COVID, sir, there are lots of opportunities also generate in terms of employment. Like PP kit, we were not manufacturing the PP kit, but now India is the one of the biggest industry of the PP kit.
The COVID vaccination. India developed the vaccination and made its own vaccination.
Yes,
and people thought that they will have to supply to such a big population, 120 crore population. They will send the vaccination, how much profits. And now suddenly India makes its own vaccination and India is exporting. So imagine, so these are opportunities even at this time. Toughest of the time, what actions? So what is the action that you are taking at the time of tough time is important. Jobs became less. A lot of people who were employed became jobless. A lot of industries faced problems. Companies cut their costs. Companies cut their employees' salaries. Things have happened, which is, you can say, what is the positive in this? Yes, but that's the change. What happens to the company? Company is not enemy of employees, but companies' resources are also cut. No sale. Then what will they do? They have to. They have limited money, so they have to. If the company has to run, then they have to cut costs. So they have to cut employees. They can cut salaries, and everybody has to think positively. Okay, my salary is cut by 20%. But my salary is cut by 20%, but I don't have to travel. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, जो भी हम बाहर लंच डिनर करने जाते थे वो बंद है, घर में खाना खा रहे हैं, वो भी सेविंग हो रही है हमारी.
Yes.
ठीक है. So there's so many direct and indirect savings that I'm doing. If I calculate all of that, probably I'm saving the same amount of money or more with the 20% cut also. So how you look at things is important. And so in the COVID times, on the tough time, when you are demotivated, opportunities are not coming, and you would say, what should I do? You make a PPE kit, you make masks, you make these things which are required. If you have done a lot of work, then can you make a machine? Engineers, passed out, nothing has happened. Can you make a machine which can actually clean the document, clean the, a machine which is like auto doing self healing. So many machines that you can create for, spreading this news, knowledge about what to do, what not to do. So these are things that can all be done in the current circumstances, under adverse circumstances. What can be done? If you start thinking about that, that would be very helpful. So, and even in the worst of the case, you can find a hope. In COVID, COVID-1 happened, everybody was complaining.
Yes.
But COVID-2 happened. COVID-2 was more disastrous. It was tough because a lot of people lost their near and dear ones.
Yes.
Now, that's extremely painful. But then, at the time of COVID-1, people were complaining. At the time of 2, also complaining. What will happen at the time of 3? Again, people will complain. But people who are thinking even at point 1, at COVID-1 only, oh, it's okay, we are locked down. What great time. We never spend time with the family ever. हम एक हफ्ते की छुट्टी लेने को बोलते थे, बॉस मना कर देता था. अभी देखो हम पूरे 3 महीने से घर में अकेले बैठे हुए फैमिली के साथ. Now, so you get a bonding time with your family, kids, which you never got. हम बोलते थे एक दिन ऐसा आएगा कि हम छुट्टी लेके घूमने चलेंगे या पूरी फैमिली साथ में टाइम बिताएंगे. अब आपके पास पूरा टाइम है तो आप कंप्लेन करो, बाहर नहीं जा सकते. So a person would complain for, if you are a complaining person, you will complain in the best of the times. And if you're a complaining person, you will complain at the worst of the time.
Yes, sir.
If you're an optimistic person, you'll also be finding optimism in the worst of the time and in the best of the time also. So learn to change and alter your thoughts. And believe me, your thoughts, words, and action will land you in success. So if the thought is positive, then you are thinking even the COVID times, COVID 2 में बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, क्या कर सकता हूँ मैं कि COVID 2 में लोगों को ये प्रॉब्लम्स जो है दूर हो जाए. So can I go and educate the people who do not understand the vaccination, because there were a lot of misinformation going around कि वैक्सीन मत लगाना, इसको लगाने से आदमी की ये हो जाएगा, तुम मतलब तरह तरह की फालतू बातें लोगों ने करी.
Yes sir, blood is going to thick, like इस तरीके के messages I also received from WhatsApp and other social media platform.
Yeah, the message is saying that if you put a COVID vaccination, you will anyway going to die in 2 to 3 years time. All of us will die. Now you're thinking, oh, if I have to die, then let me die without the vaccination. Why should I? So all that. So can you do something at this time where you find out the truth and start spreading that truth and make awareness about it? At least you may not earn money, but you can earn reputation. That, okay, this guy is very positive person, and even in difficult time, he was helping people out. Compassion, the qualities, Indian values. Start doing that. Improve the nature. Plant, आसपास जो समय था, animal, plant, उनकी देखभाल करो, so that your lungs become stronger. So during the COVID time, it must be very tough, but you can find out a lot of things that you can learn during that time. So when the things improve, you can become a better person.
Yes.
So these are things that you can do, and even in the business, you can find out, like you said, चलो ठीक है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा, तो क्या हम ये बना सकते हैं, which is going to help in COVID, face mask or whatever, number of things that you can do. Can you make an app where you can figure out in your locality which hospital has beds, which patient has what problem, can I connect that to the doctor online? Number of things can be done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, definitely, sir. Sir, I am the person who is investing 10 to 12 hours in a day with the students. So there are 2 to 3 problems which I am observing in the students, that they are complaining every time. Like there is a privatization of the PSU, so that is the problem. There is a COVID situation, no job, no notification. So I think most of the students are driven by the surrounding thoughts, because there are lots of voice around us. So how to identify our inner voice, like what I need, what I should do, and what I want to do in my life. Generally we driven by the society. So how to resolve this particular problem?
I would like to share, Lamia, that I stopped newspaper just 2 years back. There's no newspaper that comes to my house for last 2 years, because it is so much of negativity that if you read 80% of the news, not 80, maybe 90% of the news is negative only. For anything of interest that you want to find out some important thing that will increase your knowledge, you would get 9 out of 10 things which are negative. So the moment you read that, what you're feeding your brain is negativity. So our newspapers, our television program, the news channels, they have to improve. It's really sad the way that our media has gone. So what you are hearing is what you start thinking. So the influence, the best thing that it is said is that you should be surrounded by positive people. What you hear, what you see should be good things. Then your thought process will be good. If you are thinking all the time negative, if you are in a friend's company who is always negative, then how can you be positive? Either you try to convert that negative person into positive, or you maintain a distance with that negative. So how to avoid negative news? You have to figure out mechanism. I did that by stopping all newspapers. I did that. I read on my mobile phone. Only things that I really like, I read that. I have put on a Google notification important points that I want to know, and the notification come, I read only that. If I want to find out any information, I'll go and search that on the web and I'll get it. I will not read that newspaper a crap to find that 1 or 2 knowledge in the day. I go through 100 of negative news,
Yes.
which spoils my brain, and then I'm not able to concentrate on my work. So these are things that you must focus. Other thing that you can do is meditate. Meditate means you sit down and relax and think about yourself. Do something like enjoy your hobbies, whether it is indoor or outdoor. Outdoor may not be possible these days, but at least indoors, whatever your hobby, your reading hobby, singing hobby, dancing hobbies, follow that. Because when you're doing your hobby, you're following your hobby and you're doing it, actually your mind is clutter free. What you need to do is that you have to create a vacuum in your mind. And what does vacuum have? When vacuum is created, it attracts fresh thoughts. Now, vacuum, like you just imagine that you love singing and you start singing, and you are not, when you are singing, you don't know what's happening around the world. You are just in that tune. When you are dancing, you are just in that dancing. So start following and implementing your hobbies. Even if you are like 80 years of age, you must do that. I am now 54 and I follow my hobbies very strongly. Now, if you do that, you're decluttering your mind. And it is very important to do that. So do that, avoid negative news and think positive. How to have that positive thought, words, and action. That you will still have a lot of negativity, no jobs. PSUs are getting converted to private. So what is the problem? You will not get a government job, but you will get a private job.
Yes.
Government job की जगह पे private job मिलेगी. Private job is very rewarding.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Me and my wife, when we started a career, we decided that okay, my wife will be in the corporate, in the government sector, and I'll go to the private sector. So I will take the risk. She will take the government sector, and she'll grow there. Now, my wife is a general manager with the Airports Authority of India. She's a human resource professional, a very accomplished person who has done very good jobs, and she's a big leader in the Airport Authority and have made great success in her life. I made my own mark and my own success in the private sector. I won't say that there was a time where I was told that, oh, your wife is an airport manager and you are just an ordinary salesperson. So my wife was handling Delhi Airport and I was handling a small sales business. So it was a comparison there. But I won't say that the public sector is the best thing to be anyone. It is good to have public sector and it is important and government realizes that. But at the same time, it is nothing bad in the private sector. If something is being privatized, it becomes more professional. I have seen the Delhi airport when it was not privatized, and now there is a huge change. I used to feel आप कहीं किसी बढ़िया कंट्री से होकर इंडिया में लैंड करते मान आपको बड़ी अजीब सी फीलिंग होती थी कहाँ आ गए यार यहाँ इतना छोटा सा एयरपोर्ट यहाँ कुछ है ही नहीं है and today our airports are comparable to the best in the world and it started from being privatized. So therefore I would say that please don't get discouraged because if the public sector is getting privatized. Why? Because the job is still there. Job has not gone. Public sector को अगर private कर दोगे job थोड़ी चली जाएगी. Job will still be there, but you will not get a public sector job. You will get a private sector job.
Yes, sir.
And private sector job, from my experience, is more rewarding for people who have a passion to excel, who have big dreams. You can realize it. In a public sector, when you have big dreams, you can realize it, but there is a structure where they will follow that structure. There will be rules and regulation. In private sector, there is no rules and regulation. You are successful, you can make the difference, you can become a boss very fast. Why? Because you are the person where you have to give the result.
Yes, sir.
In public sector, you can be the same person with same passion. You can give outstanding result, but still the structure cannot be disturbed. You cannot be given out of turn promotions, and you cannot grow to the CEO position with say 10 years and 15 years of experience, which is what is possible in private sector.
Correct, sir.
Please don't be again, what are you thinking? Privatization means bad. No, it is not.
Yes, sir. I think in private sector, your job is more challenging. Also, every day you learn a lot. You learn different things. Every time you have to upgrade yourself. But in the in the public sector and in the government sector, like sometime with the same knowledge, you can spend your whole life. But in the private sector, we need to upgrade ourselves according to the condition and situations.
Need to upgrade anywhere, whether you are working in public sector or private sector. But public sector, the risk is less from a job point of view. In
Yes.
private sector, the risk is high. But risk is high for people who don't want to work.
Correct.
But the people who want to work and who want to give the results, there is no risk. There is no risk because there is so many opportunities. In public sector, you get, if you lose your job, then the second job will be very difficult. But in a private sector, if you lose your job, there are not just one, there are lakhs of jobs available for you. So you can get another job. Get that only when you have something which is unique and extra over other candidates that go for the same position. So therefore, develop that extra and uniqueness in you. Acquire that skill, acquire that optimism, acquire that willpower, and then you would be successful, whether it is public sector or private sector.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir. So, sir, thank you very much. I think I have taken lots of time. So, thank you very much, sir, for coming here. And I hope everyone now is motivated from your words. And मैं कोशिश करूंगी सर कि आप दोबारा फिर से प्लेटफॉर्म पर हमारे आएँ और हमारे जो भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको थोड़ा सा मोटिवेट करें और जो भी करंट सिनेरियो चल रहा है उसके बारे में भी थोड़ी इन्फॉर्मेशन शेयर करें सर.
Yeah, so I will encourage all the students who have not been able to ask their questions.
Yes.
You are welcome to connect with me separately. My Instagram profile or LinkedIn profile is open. You can anytime send message, and I usually respond to the messages. So you can do that, and I will be very happy to make you successful. Because my dream cannot be realized by just making myself successful. So now I've decided to make all of you successful. So you can. My job is to make you successful. So you just tell me your problem, and I'll try to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So thank you very much all the students who join us, and I will share each and every link, profile link of this sir in the Telegram group and other social media platforms. Okay. So thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.